Well, this could get awkward. Hey folks, it is Monday, April 18th. The time is just before 2:30 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 5 degrees Celsius. And I'm here in the Forest Hill North neighborhood. And there's a look at the Ebike. And in a minute I'll be hopping on that. And I'll be riding over to Bathurst Street, then up into North York, and then I think I'll ride east along the Finch Hydro Corridor over to Yonge Street, and then I'll head south down to Midtown. And there's a public skating arena just over there. And I think that's the North Prep Junior Public School, if I'm not mistaken. I've also got the GoPro on the back of the bike here. So I'm going to see if I can get a reverse angle shot. So just south of here is the K Gardner Beltline Trail. So I'm going to hop on that and ride that a short distance over to Bathurst Street. He's insisting that I go. Thank you. Give him a wave. So this is just a small portion of the Beltline Trail. Yeah, it's my first time on this leg of it this year. So I'm currently in Midtown, but I'll soon be in North York. And I really don't know how long this ride will take, although I suspect it'll be on the longer side. It should be somewhere well over 20 kilometers or so. And here is Bathurst Street. So now I'm heading north up the east side. To the right is Roselawn Avenue, and to the left, Elmridge Drive. And if the skies look a little gray, that's because they are. Apparently there's going to be rain at some point later today. I didn't bother to check when that'll be. I just kind of hope that it won't happen during this ride, as the camera I'm using is not waterproof. And I just passed Briar Hill, so I think everything on my left is actually the south end of the former borough of North York. And on the right here is still Old Toronto. Then I think once I'm north of Highway 401, I'll be firmly in North York. Bathurst is a fairly major arterial. You won't really see too many cyclists on it. That is the Ebike Hebrew Day School on the left. And this is Glencairn Avenue. Believe it or not, I could have turned left there and found my way over to a subway station on Glencairn. And this area is known for having a rather large Orthodox Jewish population. That would be the number 7 bus right in front of me. I'll have to check from time to time just to make sure this camera I'm using is still recording. The last time I used it to record an e-bike ride, I went down the future route of the Ontario line, and towards the end of the ride it just kind of stopped recording every 5 minutes or so. That was a bit annoying. Yeah, it looks like there's some construction up ahead blocking the right lane. And it says back up here. Water main replacement and road resurfacing. And that is a very annoying sound coming out of that truck on the left. And this is a big double bus in front of me. And you'll notice there's a fair bit of retail along this stretch of Bathurst I'm covering, but it's a lot of mom and pop type shops. Oh, look at this. Bathurst is actually closed. Oh, the entire right side is closed. Bathurst and Lawrence. So it's down to just one lane in both directions. And I think I can safely ride on this closed portion here on the right. This guy's got the same idea. Well, not quite. He went from riding on the sidewalk to riding over with traffic. Stay as far right as possible here. And just up here on the right, I think this is where it was a rather popular chop suey Chinese restaurant called, I think it was called Sihai Famous Chinese. And they were there for nearly 60 years. I think they closed up a few years ago. but they reopened on Bathurst just north of Steeles in the city of Vaughan. And I think their address is 7000 Bathurst. Had I have known Bathurst would be under construction like this, I probably would have taken another route. Oh well, it's all part of the fun. Looks like there's room to safely stick over to the right here. Just stay out of the hair of these vehicles. I think that seafood restaurant was just up here on the right. Well, the construction seems to have cleared up. And once I'm past Highway 401, which is coming up, I'll be in an area unofficially known as Little Manila. I went through there last year in a video. I also live streamed around that area. There's a seniors living rental building, 65 and over. And I think just behind me on the left is an old hospital. I think it's called Bakerest. This street on the left is Hotspur. When I was growing up, my grandparents had an apartment just to the left on there, and I remember driving up Bathurst Street in my parents' car and visiting them. We would often take the Gardner Expressway and then just drive north. Sometimes we'd come south from the 401. I think it depends on where we were coming from. Now it's under North America's busiest freeway, Highway 401. I think the neighborhood on the left that I just drove through is called Lawrence Manor. And on the right was Caribou Park, if I'm not mistaken. This is Little Manila. Then just up here on the right should be Earl Bales Park. if you're wondering, I'm currently going 23 kilometers per hour. And I did turn on a tracking app before this ride, so if I can remember, I'll be able to see how long this total route was. Place called Howard TV Center on the right. They sell big screens. It's kind of unusual to see a smaller retailer selling those these days. This is Rayburn Avenue. We're about to hit some more construction up ahead. So the next major street that I'll be crossing is Shepherd Avenue West. And from there I could turn left and head over to Shepherd West subway station, or I could turn right and head over to Shepherd Yonge. And I think this is the start of Earl Bales Park on the right. And I remember trying to live stream through there last year and running into some connection difficulties as I went down into the ravine. But believe it or not, that park does have a ski hill. It's a rather modest one, but at least it gives the people in the area a place they can go ski. You could also go ski at Centennial Park in Etobicoke. And here is Shepherd Avenue West. This is a street you could classify as a stroad. I did a video on it last year. I'm not a fan. A lot of these big arterials that aren't quite a street or a road. Kind of the worst of both worlds mixed. Let's see if I'm still recording here. So this area as well, I believe, has a large Jewish population as well as Filipino-Canadian. Not too far to the right of here is Willowdale, and I'll be heading south through Willowdale on the later part of this ride. It's kind of a large horseshoe I'm going on, heading north, up into North York, and then south. That car is in the left turning lane, but they are not turning left. They've actually got the right blinker on. Oops. I'm surprised there wasn't more honking. There's a pretty big dip, followed by a good hill climb coming up. Good thing I'm on the e-bike for this. We're dipping down into a valley, and I think a tributary of the Don River is what runs underneath this section that we're heading down into. This valley is connected to Earl Bales Park. I think that guy was thinking, oh great, I'm stuck behind a guy on a bike and a dump truck. There's a big campus on the left, but I didn't catch what it's part of. This will definitely sap some battery life here. The Lippa Green building on the left. That's a Jewish center. So I won't quite make it to the very northern end of Toronto. That would be at Steeles Avenue. Once I'm north of Finch, I'll be hanging a right into the Finch Hydro Corridor. That's always a fun place to go for a ride. There's a 7 bus, so that goes south down to Bathurst Station. Then south of there, there's a streetcar that services that end of Bathurst Street. So this should be Finch Avenue coming up. Don't want to block anyone turning right. I'll just stay over here. There's the Happy Bagel Bakery on the northeast corner over there. So you could turn right here and head over to Finch Station, or you could go left and head over to Finch West Station, and there you'll run into an LRT line that's currently under construction. So it should be just up here on the right. I'm gonna hop off of Bathurst Street. There you go, this should be the Hydro Corridor. And I could turn left, and that'll lead you over towards the Jane and Finch neighborhood. And there's a lot of soccer fields and that sort of thing along the Hydro Corridor there. But we're gonna go right and head over to Yonge. This road is atrocious. Would not want to take an e-scooter along it. Let the car behind me know I'm turning up here. I can take things a bit easier now. So I've got the speed down to 18. And I am heading east. I've always heard it's not good to live near a hydro line like this. Apparently there's higher rates of cancer and other illnesses. I don't know if that's actually true, I've just heard that. I wonder if the property or these homes are a little lower in value because of that. And she has got to be cold. I'm wearing several layers here, although she is actually exercising. All right, I'm going to go a little faster here. I didn't see anyone coming, and that light usually takes forever. This wind is picking up pretty good. And this should be about the halfway mark of the journey. Although I think this next half will go by a bit quicker. I have no idea if you can even hear me or not over this wind. It is strong. Oh. This is the end of that section, and then we're going to be going into Hendon Park here. There's a baseball field, and it's right next to an office where I used to work at the North American Center. It's that kind of pinkish purpley building off in the distance. There's a sound coming out of my front wheel. I wonder if something's stuck in there. And this is TTC subway parking straight ahead. And that would be Finch Station. And just before I pull out into traffic here and start going south down Yonge, I'm just going to check out my battery status. I seem to have plenty of battery. Oh, it's only 34 minutes in. I think we'll easily be able to do this on one battery. So from here, I'm going to head south and ride into Midtown. How do you do that? That was how not to turn. Here's Yonge Street, and there's a no right on red light here. I'm just gonna hang back. I wonder if I can pull up my tracker. So apparently I've gone 11.1 kilometers so far with an average speed of just over 20 kilometers per hour. That's the bus bay that serves Finch Station straight ahead. And on the left is the Viva bus terminal, or the York Region bus terminal and Go bus terminal. And welcome to Yonge Street. So when people think of North York, I think this is the area they think of most here. So this is Finch. I think this is the most built up and urban area in North York. Oh man, this wind is going to knock me over. This area is kind of known for all the Asian restaurants. Ooh. That's a strong wind. A lot of people have their heavier winter coats out. There is a plan to make some rather major improvements to this stretch of Yonge Street, which will include narrowing it and putting in bike lanes. I'm kind of leaning right, and I've got my steering wheel turning, or steering wheel, I don't have a steering wheel. I've got my front wheel pointed slightly to the right, just to counter the wind that was pushing me left. I've gone by Malnasman Square. That was the former City Hall of the former city of North York. And next up will be Shepherd. Then things can get a little hairy if you're on a bike going south, because you'll be dealing with a lot of cars merging onto Highway 401. And I'm not sure if the proposed bike lanes will be carrying through that section of Yonge, but I think it would be a welcome addition. So here is Shepherd Avenue. For this bus here, it's got its door open. There's a lot of cars coming in the lane on the left, so I can't really go around. So you'll find Shepherd Yonge Station here. Seems to be a lot of traffic just up ahead. So the 401 on-ramp is just south of here. I'm gonna put my bike in a warp speed mode here. So I really don't want to be tangling with cars. Jumping onto the highway if I don't have to. Mission accomplished. And way off in the distance you can see the CN Tower. And closer is the Yonge Eglinton skyline. That's where I'm headed. Jeep's kind of an idiot. Speeding up to slam on his brakes. And on the right, coming up is the Don Valley Golf Course. On the right, we have cars coming off the highway here. There's some golf carts pulling out. And I used to work in this office complex just on the right there. I just checked my battery. It seems to have dropped a bit more than I thought it might have. So I'm going to pull in here actually and just plug a battery pack into it. Weird seeing this place so dead for a Monday afternoon. Well, it's been like that the last few years. Okay, so I've got this guy in my right pocket. All I need to do is plug the cable into the camera, then I don't have to worry about the battery anymore. Although, it was soon after I plugged in last time when the camera started to have issues where it was turning itself off. So this will be a good test if that happens. Let me just confirm. It is getting juice again. Sweet. Throw my gloves back on. All right, let's get rolling. So this is the Hogs Hollow neighborhood coming up on the left. And here is York Mills Road. Well, on the east side, on the west side is Wilson Avenue. And here's where you'll find York Mills subway station. I'm about to go over a branch of the Don River and then up a rather daunting hill to tackle if you're on a regular bicycle. I've done it on my single speed, but it damn well almost kills me every time. It should be a piece of cake on this thing. There's one of the oldest taverns in the city of Toronto, the Miller Tavern on the left. So here we go, Hogs Hill. And this will take me up into the Yonge Lawrence neighborhood. I suppose I could help my e-bike battery out and do some pedaling, but I'm close enough to home. There's a guy on the right who took his bike up this, but he opted to ride on the sidewalk, which you're not supposed to do. That wind is just pushing me all over. And this area is served by Lawrence subway station coming up. What is this lady doing? What are you doing? You're turning right, so turn right into the right lane. So it seems as if she wanted to make an immediate left there. That's why she was so adamant on turning out into the left lane. And here's the intersection of Yonge and Lawrence. And here you'll find Lawrence subway station. And we're going to say Edmonds Drive and Chatsworth Drive. So on the left is Lawrence Park and the affluent Lawrence Park neighborhood. And the Chatsworth Ravine is just on the right. You can follow that through pretty much all the way to Havergal College. Welcome to my neighborhood. This area is known as Yonge Eglinton. Those tall towers off in the distance are at the intersection of Yonge and Eglinton, and I won't be making it quite that far south on this one. My ankles have been rather cold. I stupidly wore shorts that were, or socks that were too short. And the pants I'm wearing when I'm pedaling don't go all the way down to my shoes, so I've got these exposed ankles on this entire ride. And for some reason I wore mesh shoes, so my toes are quite frozen right now. A lot of bad decisions on my part. And I checked this route on Google Maps, and it said it would take about an hour and 15 or an hour and 20. It looks like I did it much quicker than that, but of course that's assuming you're using a pedal-powered bike. Which this is not. There's some construction up ahead. I think that's in front of where the old Best Buy was. They recently, well, no, this looks a bit more north than that. There's a building they recently demolished just up ahead. I think they're preparing to put a condo in just here on the right. There's an old theater that they need to preserve. Here's where the old Best Buy used to be, just on the right. It's kind of weird seeing nothing on that plot of land right now. And this is Montgomery Avenue, so I'm going to turn right here and end this one. You can take another look at that construction site from here. Is the GoPro still on? It is. Let me get the camera off here. So I hope you enjoyed this e-bike ride. That was 19.44 kilometers with an average speed of 21 kilometers per hour. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. And I also have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. There's a look at the GoPro. I used a different action cam the last few times. I recorded a rear view of this one. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I will catch you on the next one.